Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video we're going to be going over how to change out your protective lens. That's going to be your little one that's a consumable. You probably got a few of them in your kit. When you order the laser, they're going to look like this round disc. They come nice dual sealed, so you're not going to have to worry about any moisture or dust in there. And so when you might have to change this lens out is when it's going to be saying that your laser keeps overheating, that temperature alarm that keeps flashing red at you, locking your gun out. So say if you had a problem like with your air stopped or your air compressor turns out it's not quite enough, it's not keeping up, so it's dropping below the pressures on it. That's all times at which you could expect to have it, your lens start to get debris caught up on it, or if you've just been using it for a long time, you know, lots of different scenarios that this lens could, but it is your first line of defense to not fry your other lenses that are in here, because those lenses are significantly more expensive than these little guys. So the way to change these lenses out, super simple. This green one here, you kind of got a spot you can get your finger under on each side. You're gonna pop this off. So that lens will stay. And remember, this is the lens that we change out over here. When we're wanting to go between modes, this lens stays, and then you've got this guy here. So you can kind of see on mine, you can see through it there. You've got a little bit of gunk on there, debris. I've probably been cleaning 4 or 5 hours, and I did some welding on this lens, so I'm not surprised that this lens is starting to go. It's pretty windy. I did doing some innards of some wheels, and so there's not a whole lot of room for debris to get out of there, so even with good airflow. So I'm honestly impressed that this lens has lasted this long. The first one didn't last near as long. So what we're going to do is, you see these lips on each side, or these openings I guess. We're going to rotate this inner piece until our tabs come into view. So you can see a tab there, and you can see it right there. So we're going to pull this out. We're just going to set it right like this. If you always take everything apart and you set it exactly in the same orientation, you know you'll get it back in the right order. Then this lens, we set this down. There's nothing else in here now. So I'll bring it up here, you guys can see it a little better. And all them specks and chips and whatnot, over time those are going to cause this lens to eventually crack. When it cracks, if it cracks it along the center or whatnot, you're going to have your beam, instead of coming straight through the center, a nice hole, it'll kind of wobble through it, or it could scatter the light, and that's going to cause you to lose a lot of power in your lens. It's going to cause you to lose efficiency, and again, it's going to cause overheating, because now you're heating up the internals in here rather than your light going through. Flip it over, you guys can see a lot more of that debris. So like I said, I'm not at all surprised that we are having, or that we need to change this lens. But again, at the same time, I could keep running this lens. I haven't ran into temperature problems yet. The only time that I've had temperature problems is running at 1500 watts. You know, it'll run for a few minutes and then shut off. But you're also running at machine max capacity. So expect that. So we'll go ahead and open this up. Like I said, they got those little easy tabs. That off to the side. Then these bags kind of unfold. Or actually, these are tape rather, not a bag, so this is the fun part, getting this tape apart. There it separates. So, and make sure your hands aren't super dirty or anything. So I'm going to try not to grab that lens. You don't want to get any buildup or oil on there. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to drop this straight down in there so it's going to sit flat. Nothing fancy. Going to pick this guy back up. Remember, tabs down. Drop it on top. Give her a little spin. You can see our tabs are locked in. She ain't going nowhere. Right, simple as that. Get the orientation correct. This one I like. There's no way to put it in wrong. It's only going to fit one way. So put that in. Push it down. You're back in business. You can fire your machine up and get through on it. Now you got a nice lens. You can be back at peak power. So again, another sign if your lens is starting to overheat and potentially has a bunch of gunk on it, is this right here is actually an LED light. It is typically green when all is good, but then when it overheats, it'll flash from green to red, and it'll just keep flashing like that until the temperature is back down into an acceptable range. And once it reaches that acceptable range, it'll go back solid green and you're good to go. So I hope this is helping you guys, and y'all have a good one.